What's good? What's good? What's good, y'all?
What's going on, bro?
And we back with another Breaking the Narrative podcast, BTN for short. And I'm Teddy.
Tony.
And I'm also real Mark Anthony.
Why can't it just be Mark? What happened to just Mark?
I gotta keep throwing my name out there.
He's building.
Mark.
He's building the brand.
Yeah,
Building the brand,
Yeah,
but his Instagram it is still private.
Actually, it's
I
not.
thought you took that off.
Yeah, man, that shit been private. Well, not private, public for like the longest.
Man, don't post it on there.
Yeah, you gotta
Barely.
get.
I don't know.
That's
I've
the
been
next.
working.
That's the next phase, man. Gotta get him back active. You know?
Yeah.
I've been working hard, man. Just working hard.
That's not working hard. That's
I
not working
I
at
haven't
all.
working hard on the social media, but I've been working hard outside. So,
Post a little something here and there.
yeah, when I find time.
Yeah, you hopped on the other day and shared the little video to your story. Just that fast, you could have posted a picture or something.
Yeah.
It was easier to go ahead and put out content that was already made.
See, that's just lazy.
It is. I literally, that's the time that I actually have to do anything. Just that split second. Just like, oh, all right, cool. Boom, back to work.
You know how much time that takes? Like, all right, maybe
That's
30,
literally all
45
I got.
seconds.
Those few
It takes
seconds.
about that long
Those
to
few
post a
seconds is
picture.
all I got. Then I gotta get right back to my
All right,
patience.
so what about us just sitting right here for like the last 20 minutes pre-gaming for the podcast, and you were on Instagram.
That's
I
true.
was.
That's
Definitely
true.
was. But
Easily
I
could've-
don't have no
You
content to
could have
post right
taken a
now.
picture before you came in here. You could have did a whole little vlog.
Oh, well, one. I definitely ain't got nothing to be holding no phone and vlogging. Oh, yeah, I'm walking up to Ted house.
Yeah, about to
But everybody would have found out where you lived at, man. I'm going to Ted house, man. It's going to be a beautiful day today.
Yeah, you just got cut it off a little early.
Just stop in the middle of the hill while I'm
Yeah.
sliding
I
down.
literally
Just
have
like,
done that before. I don't do it often. I've done it before.
I don't know. It just seems weird to me that you just randomly stop. Oh, yeah, let me take a picture. Click. I got to build myself up to that. That's not the type of personality that I am.
Okay. More like a silent killer.
Yeah,
you know what I'm
as
saying?
long as
Yeah.
like if he don't have on his little Undertaker hat and shit, he don't feel comfortable taking pictures.
Oh, is that what it is? That is a coincidence. Is that what it is? You
Going
gotta
back to being a hater.
You gotta be dressed up real good. Or?
Yeah,
No, not at all.
Okay.
nigga hate taking pictures and shit.
No,
I
I'm
got
not
on
opposed.
my cowboy boots.
I'm not opposed to taking pictures. It's just, I don't know. I don't feel like I don't be doing a whole lot to be,
You just don't have to.
or just like, hey, yeah, it doesn't occur to me like that.
Oh, okay. You just gotta get the mindset back. That's all.
Lies. But hey, would you like to introduce the topic today, sir?
Yeah. So today we're going to be talking about emotional incest, and for those not in the know, I got the definition right here. I can't just describe it to the people how I just described it to y'all on camera, because people need a technical definition of what it is. I can't just be like, hey, you know what I'm saying, when bitches be like this and that, so.
You can't give him like the little half and half and shit. You're like, no, this is your own opinion.
Yeah. So we have to give people the technical definition, so that way when we get into the debates and all of that, we know what the foundation is. You know what I mean?
Facts.
So emotional incest occurs when a parent or caregiver relies on a child for support or responsibility that an adult partner will more than likely usually provide. They may also treat the child like a romantic partner, which is basically what they just said in the previous sentence. I don't know why I'm saying it like that again. Emotional incest is different from physical incest because it may not involve sexual abuse. So, first and foremost, now that we've thrown that out there, how often have y'all seen this?
Quite often.
Yeah, I didn't even know that was something until I came across like reading this dictionary.
Yeah, like, I mean, it's like knowing something. For me, it's like knowing that it was there, but at the same time,
You didn't know it was something.
it was like an actual
Right.
solid thing until you told me. Because when you mentioned it to me, I was like, whoa, hold on, what's that? You know, like, let me ask first. But
Yeah, because when I stumbled across this, I was like, yo, I see this literally every day on social media. Like, literally, almost every day.
now, if in the diluted sense that you expressed to me earlier, yeah, I definitely see that. Like, oh yeah, my king, my prince, or
Yeah.
that I see. and like I was saying before, it's gonna be a back and forth type of thing for me on this subject, based off of that alone. Because who knows why they're doing that? You know, this is my queen, this is my prince, or this is my king type of stuff. Because some people are just basically trying to develop a sense of confidence in their child or whatever the case may be, and then others is just be like, well, yeah, you know, my last relationship didn't go well, so this is my king.
I mean, that happens more often than not. Where
Oh yeah,
it's the,
I definitely
where it's
am
the
aware
latter
of that.
and not
You know,
the former.
so
So I've seen it on a very consistent basis. I haven't seen it that often out of men, even though it does happen with them.
I'm quite sure
But
it does.
I've seen it more in women, where they have dealt with like relationship trauma after relationship trauma. So a lot of it being self-inflicted. So don't like take accountability, please.
Right.
So I've seen it quite often on those cases where they deal with all these bad experiences in relationships, and then once they get somewhat of a semblance of a good opposite sex, like technical partnership with their child, which is weird to say.
Yeah. Well, and now that I think about it, even if you go like outside of like the child thing, because how many times have you been like you've seen like it'll be the female's friend, and then she comes over or something, and she's like, "Oh, look at my little boyfriend."
Yeah,
yeah,
that's
that
happened to me.
Definitely.
Right, exactly. Like once, like Mark said, once you discover like, yo, this is something. Now you just thinking back like, yo,
You
this
can't
is
unsee this shit.
this has been here like literally all your life.
Even though that wouldn't be considered as like incest, it's still
That's
still off.
That's the regular incest. I mean, no, that's not incest. That's borderline.
Pedophilia?
Yeah, that and statutory.
Statutory rape is
It's borderline.
technically.
Yeah.
No.
Well, it's statutory.
But no,
harassment. It's more like
when
harassment.
they're a lot older than you, that's not statutory. That's pedophilia.
Okay. Yeah.
Like, I can see if they're only a couple of years apart, maybe like she's in high school, he's in middle school, like, oh, that's my little boyfriend, some shit like that. When they say shit like that, you're just like, okay, yeah, she can be she can possibly be considered as somebody that's just doing that statutory rape, especially if she's a little bit older to where she's actually, I would say, like in the legal age.
Right.
Like she's like 18, like 17, 18 years old.
Right.
To the point.
The other kid's like 15.
To the point where the age difference is not like, oh well, yeah, she could heavily influence him.
Yeah. Like I'm talking about like say like it's two females your age, and one of them has a kid, and the other one's just like, oh, that's my little boyfriend. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, that's happened to me.
Yeah, I've seen that.
yeah,
Sure.
you
Definitely.
like
it's there for sure. I actually know some people that do that.
Because as a kid, you start to actually develop somewhat of a liking to them because they call you that.
Right. And here you are, like now. You don't even know that you've been corrupted way longer than you thought to.
Yeah.
Man. You know what I'm saying? Like, so how in the world does this happen? What happens? Like, let's get down to the nitty gritty. Like, let's if we have to, let's dive deep.
I mean, with the, there's like the girls calling like the boys like boyfriends and all, like just the younger boys that, like, it's not always they're dealing with relationship trauma and stuff like that. Maybe they just don't know what it's doing. Like,
Okay.
Because we've been conditioned to believe that certain things are okay.
Okay.
And since, ever since we were kids, they were probably like treated the same way. So it's just like they got
something
used
that's
to
just
it.
passed down and passed down, and you don't know what it is until.
Yeah, and like to this day, I've never done anything like that.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna call someone's child, oh, that's my little girlfriend. No, no, that shit feels weird to me.
And because dudes get way more slack than females.
Definitely.
The double standard is like super crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like it was a situation the other day. I'm not sure if y'all are familiar with Brittany Renner.
Yeah.
So you are, you.
Absolutely not.
So Brittany Renner is the baby mother of one of the NBA players.
Oh,
so
yeah, that's why I don't know because I don't
P.J.
follow sports
Washington?
heavily
yeah,
like
PJ Washington's baby mother. So she literally has admitted to preying on him, having his kid just for the financial support and well-being of her lifestyle. So she recently was back in the headlines because she went to Jackson State. That's the Deion Sanders coach at or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And when she went back there this week, she posted a picture and was saying, hey, I'm back at Jackson State University. Hide your sons. And, of course, it sparked a huge debate that if a dude would have did that, who's
You
like,
got the R. Kelly treatment.
yeah, exactly. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. So that's the double standard, like, has kind of always been there. So that's why I think, like, dudes, it probably does happen out here, but not to the degree that it happens with females.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because they say as a child, like, your first love should be the opposite sex of, like, the opposite sex parent.
Right.
Like, that should be like your first love experience, as in like your first feeling of true love.
Right.
I mean, I kind of agree with that because it gives you somewhat like of a formula of what you would want.
Right.
But then if it goes further than that to where your opposite sex parent is just saying, "Oh, that's the woman of the house, that's the man of the house," then it gets a little bit iffy to the kid. Because at that point they're starting to realize, like, maybe they feel the same way.
Right.
So that can corrupt a child completely.
Exactly.
And they think it's like they get comfortable with believing that their parent should treat them that way. So eventually they'll do the same thing with their kid. And then maybe they'll end up becoming, like, on those rare occasions, they might just start seeking people who are younger than them, significantly younger than them, or significantly older than them because they believe that that's okay. Okay.
So do you think that that's the reason why, like, the incest numbers are, like, super high now anyway?
I don't know.
Because incest numbers are pretty high. Obviously, you'll select celebrities who, come out and admit it, like Kevin Gates and them sleeping with their cousins. And I see it on TikTok, like, it's not a lot, but I see it enough to where it's in my mind now that there's videos of, like, sisters and brothers kissing, you know what I'm saying? And that they're actually related. Cause
stuff like that is just weird as fuck.
They look super identical. You know what I'm saying? Like,
well, no, I mean, I wouldn't say that that's why the numbers are high. Now, the awareness of it is high because of that.
Okay.
I'm sure. Because now they're just like, oh, well, yeah, we've seen the celebrity do it. So it's like, it just gives them more comfortability to be more open with the whole situation. So, if they get any backlash about it, well, such and such did it. So, why the fuck not me? But I really think the numbers were high for several different reasons. To be honest, to me, I damn near think it's like a psychological type of thing.
Okay.
Like, well, shit, man. My experiences with women or men outside of the family was just, like, way off. My bond is a lot better, of course, with my family member to a point where I developed a sense of higher feeling for them. So this is what it is. And then, like, when you start spending more time and then your experiences still are bad on the outside, but it's so great on the inside with the family, and you're just like, I can see myself with that person. And you just start noticing little things bit by bit, and that's where shit happens.
Right.
Otherwise than that, others, I don't know. And then I believe there's sometimes that families just breed it on their kids early.
Which is true.
So,
yeah, because you got now you do have the corrupted families out here.
Definitely.
This is just purposeful. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they thrive off shit like that. They're ones.
Like, yeah, man, we got this and we got, like, and some people just try to keep wealth in the family that way too. Just like, all right, well, we got this land, and I don't want nobody else to have it. This is only going to be the same last name for generation to generation to generation. And the only person I trust to have this land is going to be the family itself. So in order to ensure that's going to happen, we're just going to do this in this family.
And that's crazy.
Yeah, they're proven like that's happened, and like kings and queens and shit like that. They have like nothing more to do than each other. Like that's it.
Well, they definitely probably either don't have anything more to do than each other, or just really just don't give a fuck. Like, nah, man, I want it, and because I want it, I feel like I get to have it.
Well, that too.
So it's just like, there's people just doing it just because they don't give a fuck. Yeah. It's like, look, man, look, it's beautiful and I want it. So, I mean, shit, it's here. And if they agree, then why not?
And then you just mix in the people that is doing it subconsciously. Like, just because, their friends think it's cute or society accepts it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What kind of effects could this have, like, long term, though?
It's hard to say because honestly, we're not psychologists. But given the experiences that we've seen, just in this area or in the people that we've met, like it's so many different outcomes. Because there are situations where children who are sexually abused and grow up and be sex addicts, or they also grow up and have like sort of like an abstinence complex. Like they don't want to have sex at all because it's almost like they're scared of it.
Right.
So I feel as though like there's way too many things to possibly like really just jump into, because the mind itself is vast and there's so many things that can just come out of it based on what a single trauma can produce.
Right. Because even when I'm looking at the notes or whatever, and I happen to have the symptoms of what usually happens like down the line from people who were involved in that.
Yeah.
And even the symptoms say, frequent guilt, low self-esteem, overperforming in relationships, or emotional turmoil. Mm-hmm. So either way, it sounds like you're going to be corrupted one way or the other.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I just feel like whoever got this going, that's what I'm trying to really think in my mind. Like, how did this start? Like you said, the kings and queens, that's a good analogy to use, because now more than likely that's where it came from. Like, and then what you were saying about having the wealth and the money and wanting to keep it in the family. So you have the kids basically, reproducing amongst each other. So what about when they say, like, if family have sex with family, your kids come out retired or something like that? Is that not true, or
that's more myth than anything?
Is it?
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't know how true that really is.
Because if this been going on for generations, the billionaires they not retarded. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, because like if you look at it this way, like look at it from a religious standpoint.
Okay.
If you look at the idea of Adam and Eve, they were not they weren't actually related. However, they had children, and their children had children, and their children after that, and they're considered the birth of civilization. Well, that means we're all related in some way, so we're fucking each other, and we're all related technically. So we haven't come out like disfigured or deformed and shit like that. So what's the big deal at that point? Like, and people are making it seem as though like you're going to have like these things are going to happen. Like you're gonna be disfigured, you're gonna have deformities, you're gonna have like a whole bunch of like random things happen within your family lineage.
Well, now thinking about it, I think there is a percentage of that, of course, being true. Obviously, well, no, it is. It's either it is or it isn't.
Yeah,
so,
it's not 100% false, but.
And I think the only reason why chances of that is happening because you got people in the same bloodline that will have, similar chromosomes. And I believe, like, once you have so much of that, something has to compensate. So it's like, all right, well, this is overly done here, so they're gonna lose a segment or a limb or something like that. It's not gonna work here. So it's a give or take from the chromosomes being produced. So now that I think about it for a second, I actually do think that that is a thing.
Yeah, I'm not really trying to say that it's 100% false, but it's just like it just depends on the situation. Because honestly, people who are quote unquote not related are having like mentally challenged children. They're having deformed children and stuff like that. There's like it doesn't really equate to just being related. So
That's facts.
yeah, you just had to look a little bit deeper into that and like what actually causes it, honestly. So I think it.
And like he was saying, like if you are born with deficiencies, like by you keeping it in the family, you don't give your family a chance of like.
Well, that's true. Also,
Yeah, because if you reproduce outside the family with somebody who's healthy,
hmm
with a healthier DNA, you know what I'm saying, then you have a
hmm
better chance of like reproducing a healthier kind of human. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, it's a lot of defects to this. For one, also, I think it also emotionally desensitizes the family member to people. Period. Like you getting so used to dealing with that one particular type of person. Like this is all I know, and so now they are not going to want to branch beyond that, and to a point where it may even psychologically like cause an anxiety when they meet new people.
okay, that makes sense.
So it's just like now you got people who one don't want to deal with other people just in general. Like I don't want to talk to them, I don't want to be around them. It pains me to even see them. Or it's just like, well, they do shit so fucking differently and it's new to me and it fucks with me because I don't know how to handle it. Because I'm so used to seeing this at home. Especially there's I believe it's a lot of homebodies that also do the whole incest thing.
Think so?
Yeah, like, man, shit, if I'm not going out to get groceries or anything like that, man, I'm staying with the family because why do I need to travel anywhere else?
Okay.
Like, you feel like everything that you got. One of the things that bring people out to social gatherings is because you purposely want to meet somebody new. You want to see what they can offer to you. But if you are just getting all of that at home and you're like, well, damn, like, shit, I don't need to leave my doorstep for that. It's just literally putting you in a very small-ass box.
Right. Okay.
And that's it's gonna pack you in psychologically because it's just like I said, when you go meet somebody else, it's like, what is this? What is that? Like that's weird. That's off, and I don't know how to deal with it, so I don't want to experience that again. Sometimes there are also going to be those who are going to be quite rebellious, and it's just like, oh well, yeah, I'm curious. Let me try that out.
Yeah. So basically, what we discussed so far, it seems like this can be super damaging.
Yeah, I mean, damaging in many different ways. Cause let's look at it this way: during slavery, they really practicing eugenics, and I'm not sure if you're familiar with eugenics.
Well, I am, but if you want to explain to the people,
the act of pairing together certain people with certain backgrounds and or strengths to create a better human being,
right?
Where they would take possibly a very healthy son and his very healthy mother, and then they'll have them breed just so they can create a better human being that way. So they'll create a better slave. So I think a lot of that can equate to the dynamic now, which is, women want to see like their son as like their significant other almost.
Right.
So it's like a PTSD from generation to generation.
Right. And we also like, I guess we have to get into the whole thing of like the situation of why it even occurs that they want their kids to be like that, which is that obviously the relationship with the child's father has gone wrong. You know what I mean? So What do y'all feel about that?
There can be two different outcomes for that.
Okay.
Like when a woman's not dealing with the father, and then she's they're on like bad terms. Actually, there are actually three outcomes for this. The best outcome, move on and everything's fine, like no problems whatsoever. Then there are the negative outcomes. One, she treats the child, if it's of opposite sex, treats that as though that's her man now, and also she closes herself off completely.
Right.
And then she's treating the son the same way she wished she could treat the father.
Which is what you see frequently.
Mm-hmm.
Like you start to see like females dress the kid up like the way that the father would dress. You know what I mean? Always taking him out. I mean, want to take the kids out anyway, but you know, I've seen this on Facebook plenty of times. Oh, date night, and it's just her and the kid.
That and what I was getting at with her treating the kid like the father is, I'm talking about the negative.
Okay.
Like you can equate that to just treating him like a significant other.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about treat the kid as though she wants to treat the dad a certain way. Mm-hmm. Like she has resentment towards the father. So
she's treating the kid bad too.
Yeah.
Got you.
Now we starting to unfold this a lot now. There's a lot of reasons why shit like this can happen.
Yeah, I've seen that frequently.
Yeah.
To be a son to be treated as though he is the father because they don't have access to the father. They treat the son same way as the father, and so on and so forth. Even with daughters, the male would treat his daughter as though if the woman did something wrong, treat her like so much worse because he has so much resentment towards the mother, and he has no access to it.
Right, and that's the closest access you're gonna get is to the seed. Yeah,
and then it's never gonna get any better because all the things you're saying to the child is not getting off all of the stress that you wanted to get off because it's not going to the right person. So it's never going to heal.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It sounds super psychological.
It is. It's definitely a super psychological thing.
Yeah.
Like there's several reasons why shit like that can happen. And we see it all the time, even in movies now. Just thinking about it. Like, you know, like in movies, you got the father that's, you know, by himself, and he got that one daughter.
Right.
And somehow he lost his wife to a car crash or whatever the case. She just up and left. Mm-hmm. And now, you know, he's like just super strict on her, like to a point where you think that he's going to lock her in the fucking basement or some shit. And just like, yeah, you can't do this. And, you know, I taught you not to do that. It's shit like that. Like, it can come from anywhere now. And then when it comes to the mom doing shit with her son, what I'm now going to call the water boy syndrome.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just like there's no woman that's right for you. It's always going to be that, well, you know, there's not going to be no woman right for you. They're all tricks. They're all just trying to get in your pockets. They're evil. They're this, they're that. They're such and such and such.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And now it's just like, yeah, you know, now he can't live his life because however the fuck, you know, the mom lost a man.
Right.
So it's just like, all right, cool. Well, I can't have your dad. And I'm bitter about it, or shit, I never healed from it, or whatever. And now I got a son that's just like, yeah, women ain't shit. This, and this. Forgetting that you are a woman too, but it's just like, yeah, women ain't shit. Like, I'm the only woman you need. He's not gonna leave home. Right. He ain't gonna have no act right. And, you know, if he does finally get a woman, he's not gonna know how to treat her.
Right.
Like, those are the type of people, they're really tired of losing people. So they're so stuck in their own mind, like, this is it. After I lose this person, I'm alone. Right. And they don't want to feel alone because after they have been in a relationship with the person for so long, or that love of their life, quote unquote, left them, there's no coming back from it. They've reached a dead end.
Right.
And the ending of all of that will just be the leaving of the child. And then they'll just be stuck with their own thoughts. and that's the last thing they want.
I just keep realizing more movies that is basically expressing all that shit. Baby Boy is another example.
Yeah, putting it in people's minds. And because the movie or the show turns out okay at the end, you know, then people come away thinking like, well, I can be like that because it worked out for cuz, it's going to work out for me. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Not knowing that it just comes with a array of problems. Because it can spawn into so many different things. Like, we've already named like 20, 30 things. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So it's like, you said the kings and queens, and obviously now that you brought up the slavery, I'm thinking like, a lot of this stuff is just repercussions from slavery.
Some of it. I ain't gonna say all of it, but it has a lot to do with it.
Yeah, that's why I say a lot. So, it's just mind blowing that this has always been here.
Yeah.
And we just thought it was just
new. Yeah.
Not new, but just because we've always seen it. Like I've seen that since I was a kid. Like you've seen that since you said it happened to you. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like you've always seen it. You just didn't know. Like, wow, this is something.
Yeah. And then, I mean, there's situations where, like, even when you're a kid, like, you feel as though, like, certain women would be a little bit more touchy-feely than normal.
Yeah. Now, I've definitely been a part of that and shit.
So, that would throw you off completely.
Right.
And then you're thinking in your head, hold up, she really likes me.
Yeah. And I thought that.
And then you try and make something of it, and then you're like, no, you're too young for me. I can't do that.
Yeah.
And it's like, wait a minute. That's mixed signals.
Like some you was rubbing my thigh. I fell in love with my third grade teacher because of that. Like my third grade teacher was like rubbing my thigh and shit. You know what I'm saying?
She might have been pedo, low key.
She might have been. It might have been. But and now that I think about it, I used to call her my girlfriend and shit. And all she would do was like smile and laugh.
So, I actually had experiences as well when I was a kid. I definitely had a couple girls who were obviously in their teenage seasons. It's like, yeah, that's that's my boyfriend and all that. And I actually think about it now. Like I was that little boy that tried to find ways to make craft little rings and shit like that.
Okay.
And everything, and it's just like,
Kate MacGyver.
Yeah, like as a kid, I was like, oh yeah, that's my girlfriend. And every single time I see him, I gotta hug him and shit like that. And just thinking about it, that actually was developing something. I'm glad that I actually was able to get out of that. But
it's not just that's not incest, but that's pedophilia though.
Yeah,
and that would be a whole nother corrupted conversation.
Yeah. Well, but then there's moms and dads that do that too.
Oh yeah,
and
that's true too.
Well, it was definitely on the low, and it's still pretty low now. But there's a lot of people that's actually coming out with that. That's my baby, such and such, and this.
Yeah.
And,
at least it's low in the light, behind closed doors. This shit's probably running rampant.
It probably is.
Because like Mike said earlier, if they got like a disdain for the other parent, they can do like that hard shit. Or it could be the opposite direction. You know what I'm saying? Might be filling up on your kid or some shit like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It happens more often than
that. I know. I'm shaking my head too, but still, like you gotta think like once something is like off in your brain, you're not even regular no more. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So at least that's me I'm not trying to make excuses for him, but I'm just trying to be logical and like not just shunning a person saying, yo, something the fuck wrong with you.
They put that in, just like what Mark was saying, it's like they put that in a lot of films.
Yeah.
Like, and if you think about it, like Carrie,
mm-hmm.
how horrible her mom was.
Right.
It was based on the fact that like she was overly religious and her dad was gone. There's no authoritarian in the room except for her.
Right. And she was basically a bitter old B. I ain't gonna say that.
Yeah, pretty much. And then I'm gonna like flip the script and say and put it on the men. I don't know if either one of y'all saw the movie Tamara, but it was a horror movie about a girl. She was practicing witchcraft, and she was a very, very like she wasn't popular at all. So many people just making fun of her for being the smart kid and all of that stuff. Mm-hmm. But she also had a very huge crush on her teacher. And
Okay.
one day, like, the kids played a trick on her and made her think that the teacher was calling her over to like a hotel because he thought like they made her think that he was in love with her and all that shit. And they filmed her in the room with like her bra and panties on and all that shit. And then after that came in, like after the whole process, they ended up coming in and started making fun of her and all that shit, calling her ugly and all that, even though she was really fucking gorgeous. I don't know what the hell these niggas was talking about, but that's neither here nor there. That's neither here nor there. She ended up getting killed because it was like, you know, that freak accident type shit.
Okay.
But what they didn't know, with her practicing witchcraft, like she ended up coming back from the dead, and she had put like a spell on herself, and she was attached to the teacher. But to get to my point, one of the people she went after was her father, because with her mother being gone, he was treating her as though he would treat her mother, because I think she was dead, and he was feeling up on her.
Wow.
And that was the reason why she was so closed off, because she was so insecure from him being so touchy-feely with her and wanting to treat her like he would treat the mom, because he misses the mom so much.
Right. And
so stuff like that.
And he's thinking that's the closest thing he's going to get to the mom.
Exactly.
Is the daughter and shit.
And then she's because of him being so gluttonous, she made him actually eat all of the beers that was inside of the refrigerator, like the bottles. Like she made him eat them.
Damn.
And like they went inside the house like later on, and then saw him like literally like blood coming from his neck and glass coming from it, and he's still sitting there alive, and he's chewing on the glass and swallowing the shit.
Damn. Wow.
And it goes like shit like that happens because of stuff like that. Not necessarily the witchcraft stuff, but they have resentment towards the parents based on that.
It's understandable. Yeah, it's multiple directions of how, like, none good. Like, is there any type of goodness that can come from this?
Trauma like that, I'm not sure, but I don't know.
Yeah, like, because I'm thinking it's just we done covered so many bases, but it's like everything is like super negative.
Yeah, it's like there's no silver lining towards abuse,
right,
in any form.
Yeah, but from the pros and the cons are definitely outweighing, for sure. I don't know. Like, I think it's all in a matter of realizing that you're doing it, though. Like, realize what it is that you're doing, so you can kind of separate whatever it is that you're doing. Now, if somebody's intentionally doing that, then shit, obviously it's not going to end.
Right.
But if it's something that's like simple, like, you know, you calling your child a nickname or whatever the case may be, that could also be reciprocated as something else as they get older.
Right.
If you realize, like, oh, well, you know what this could possibly do right now, and you just try to separate that too, then of course, I think some good can come of it. It's just like, all right, well, I have basically know what love, you know, just like how you was mentioning before, like when, you know, you're born and you're receiving love from your parents, like you are now getting a formula of what love is like. So it's like, all right, cool, you know, I've been treated, I've been cared for, I've been respected and all that. Now I actually got some type of love to give, because now I know what it looks like, and, you know, in some shape or form.
Right.
Now, it's just all the matter of how you separate it, though.
Okay.
Like, hey, you know what? For example, if a dad takes his daughter out on a date, air quote, it's like, all right, well, here, I'm showing you, my lovely daughter, how a man should treat you. So when you meet a man, you know what the type of respect to go for, because like you're getting better standards from your father, because that's how some women will go out like, you know, I never had the respect from my dad. My dad was never around, so I'm dealing with these ain't shit ass niggas. That happens.
Right.
So
far too often, by the way.
Yeah. So now you just like, all right, well, I'm basically going to take my daughter out on a date, and she's going to see what respect looks like, and she's not going to expect any less.
Okay.
Type of thing. But you also got to like put it out there like, hey, I'm not going to be the one who is always going to be taking you out on dates. You're going to meet somebody, and etc. And this is how it should go. I'm not always going to be the one providing this for you. Don't, as you're coming up, you have to always throw that out there into the mix, into the equation, so they won't be confused.
Yeah. Establishing the boundaries.
Yeah.
Because like clearly,
treat it like a teaching method.
Yeah. Clearly they erasing the boundaries, and that's where stuff goes haywire.
Yes.
So, which I guess I want to read this example off, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because we've already mentioned that a lot of this stuff's already happened. So another example that it gives is that it's when the adult comes to the child and asks for advice on adult issues.
Didn't we have this conversation with Nene when she was over here?
Yeah.
Wow.
So what do you mean by coming to the child with adult issues? Like actually like coming and venting to them?
That in a sense, or if they got any type of problem, because even in parentheses, it brings up like spousal difficulties. So if you're married and you're having a problem with your wife, you would go to your daughter to vent about your wife, and
or if you're
or the
if somebody's cheating, you tell the kid.
Yeah, you're going going to the kid as the kid's the therapist essentially. Is what
and like
even look,
for
in
people
parentheses,
who are listening, like I'm making the most weirdest face about the whole situation. Like you
right.
mean like deliberately like, hey, yeah, I need you to give
look,
me advice on this.
It says asking the child for advice on adult issues pertaining to spousal difficulties, sexual feelings, worries about problems that don't directly involve the child. All topics that should be suitable conversations with other adults.
That's an actual fucking thing. Wow.
Yeah.
All right, so
this is all still the same thing though.
I've
seen it happen.
Exactly like
now I've seen things where like if something was to happen, like the argument between the parents or whatever, I'm like, man, your father's getting on my nerves, this and this or whatever type stuff. But like actually deliberately like, hey, yeah, I need you to put some input.
I could let that. I would let that slide.
But like actually trying to receive input.
Your parents coming sit down right next to you, like, yo, we need to have a talk.
I'm having erectile dysfunction issues,
or something. You know what I'm saying, or something like that. Like I need
wrong,
like, yo, Mark, I need your opinion on something, man. You know what I'm saying? Your mom been jive wilding, this and that, and we just going on having you're my kid, and we going on having a whole conversation about, now. I will say this,
and that's the problem. Keyword kid.
When I was in 7th grade, we had this dude in our class, and his name was Antoine, and I will say that. For a 7th grader, Slim was super advanced. Mm-hmm. So he might have been like now if that was happening to him, I felt like he almost was grown in the 7th grade. That's how that's how advanced like cuz felt. So maybe if it's like if you got like a special kid or some shit like that, where it's like your kid in the 7th grade, but man, this nigga feel like he just like knowledgeable, like he a grown man or something, then maybe, even though technically it's still wrong. Technically, but as far as like kids, like I was a kid, yeah, you know what I'm saying. Like now, obviously, my mother, she's like super old school. So if she's not disciplining me or something of the nature, she's not venting to me about anything.
Okay,
like she's talking to me about shit that I'm doing wrong. Nobody, you know what I'm saying? Like no, like she's not coming to me for advice. Like I got one of those type of parents where it's like. Nah, a child's gonna stay in a child's place.
Yeah, my mom's the exact same way, bro.
Right. But according to this, there's people like, damn, I'm feeling fucked up right now. Let me go holler at my kid. You know what I'm saying? And at face value, it doesn't sound that bad, but it's like, if your kid don't even know what shit is,
Yeah, and you're literally giving them like a sex ed
that's
conversation
right.
about
Yeah, that's
shit
the
that's
part
happening
that's
to
like
you.
fucking me up right now.
Yeah.
Like, you actually coming to a legit child.
Like, hold on, what?
Like,
what?
they ain't even reached 18 yet, and you.
I don't even know what that means. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Like so.
And now you got to completely explain to them what it means because you're teaching it to them too early and you're giving them all of the information that they don't need.
Right.
Like you're giving them the rawest and most uninformative portions of it. Like you're just saying, this is the bad. This is what I'm going through. That's all sex is. Or that's all relationships
And
are.
the worst part is, it's going to be sent around because the kid is going to repeat that shit when they go to school and all that.
Yeah.
It happens.
Definitely.
Because, like, there have been times where, it's not like a sexual conversation, but I've had adults open up to me as a teenager. Like, I'm literally, like, in the 7th, 8th grade. And, like, adults open up to me, like, literally crying and sad and all that shit, talking about all of their problems and shit. Like, they're comfortable enough to talk to me about it. I don't know. Maybe I gave off that vibe. Like, you can talk to me, even as a kid. Like, even nowadays, people love to talk to me.
Right.
Like, they have no problem with talking to me. I have no problem with listening.
Right.
Which was another thing. Like, even though they were talking to me, I wasn't really understanding a lot of it. I had no other choice but to, like, pick up on the context because I wasn't the type of person to say, oh, what does that mean? What does that mean? I had to learn on my own.
Right.
But I'm literally hearing adult conversations as a child. And I'm giving advice to adults as a child. And just all of the stuff that we've been talking about so far, like, it now has a name to it. And I just say, you know what, man?
It's crazy. That's crazy. It's crazy as shit, bro.
It's the same thing how I felt when I first learned about depression and shit. I didn't know what depression was until I looked at it. And as soon as I looked at the word, that's when I felt it like, oh, shit, I'm depressed.
Right.
And once the word exists, you're just like, shit.
Like, this is
It's a thing.
This has literally been here the whole time.
It's a world once you finally have a name to it.
Yeah, like, I never felt like as bad as I ever did until I figured out what the word depression was. Like, as soon as I saw the word, I never felt worse.
Yeah.
But now that I know, like, this has a specific, like, term for it.
Yeah. And
like, you look back and it feels, like, so dirty.
Yeah. And I literally, like, didn't know until yesterday afternoon.
Sheesh.
Like, literally just.
Like, emotional incest.
Emotional incest.
That is wild. And then you see it's so common though.
Yeah,
like,
once
you know what it is, it's common.
Yeah, that's the thing is like, I was like, yo. Because at first I was about to, when I was reading, I was about to call you like on the spot. And then I was like,
we been on the phone for like 8 hours.
And then I was like, nah, I'm gonna see if niggas want to do a podcast about this and shit. Cause it'll be better this way. You know what I'm saying? But
good thing you did.
Yeah, like that was just like, damn, this whole time I've been seeing this shit all online. You done grew up and seen niggas' parents act a certain way, or, you know, friends got they friends' kids calling them little lovers, and you know what I'm saying? Just like all over the place.
And he put that on the parents and shit for allowing that.
That's true too.
Because if that's a man saying that to a little girl, you know the dad ain't gonna have it if he's around.
Facts.
The mom might be iffy, but I mean she might allow it. But dad, no, we ain't having that. I mean that the men that I know, like we ain't having that.
Facts.
So if I'm just looking at it in that sense, like that double standard definitely exists.
No, hell yeah.
Because a woman can definitely get away with that.
Because society, we got it set up so nicely, like they just don't have to be accountable as much. Like, dudes are held to a freakishly high standard of accountability versus females.
I mean, you also see that in like how they're able to interact with each other.
Yeah.
Like borderline gay, but don't even feel as though like they can be called that way.
Right.
Like they cannot be considered that. Oh, I'm walking around like you see me naked and all that other. You tell me how good my body looks when I'm naked. Men, we ain't doing that.
Yeah.
Like straight men, like really straight men, we ain't doing that.
I was and it's funny because me and Murray, we was having a conversation a couple of weeks ago, and she was like asking me like, how come dudes don't do the same thing that girls do? So I was asking her like, what you mean? She was saying that, you know, if I'm out at the mall and I see a chick with like a nice body, I'm gonna compliment her own body. I'm gonna say she got fat ass. I'm gonna say she got big titties. But a dude's not gonna say, they're not gonna see another dude and be like, damn, look at cuz he got a good six pack or some shit like that. And I'm like, that's not how it works.
Yeah, I mean, we could see a dude and be like, nigga, that's a buff ass nigga right
there.
there.
And that's what I told. That's what I told her.
I think that's done by a form of habit though, because you know, women always have this habit of like doing things together for one. Like, oh, we're gonna go to the bathroom together. We're gonna do this together, this and this and this. So it's like the experiences of doing so much together. There was no boundary really being built.
Well,
so
hold on. But when the whole going to the bathroom together, I think that stems from women actually getting like taken advantage of in the bathroom. I get that.
That I understand, but like other things though, it's just like form of habits of just like, all right, so we've done so much together. Really, there's no boundary, and it comes down from generation to generation to generation. So it's just like, all right, well, it's okay. And then, of course, when you start to see pre-exposures of women doing women-on-women things, it's just all right, cool, you know, and it's accepted by both sides, from women and men. So it's just all right, cool. So they're more comfortable with saying and doing as such, as to opposed to us, like the whole compliment on the body thing. Yeah, the whole, that's buff ass nigga. Or if we do things like, oh yeah, the dude is toned up, he got a nice body, we thinking that to ourselves. We're never gonna say that out loud.
Well, what I explained to her is basically exactly what he was saying. Like, I was like, dudes compliment each other in a different kind of way. Like, you're gonna get it in some form of a joke.
Yeah, like our wording has to be different.
Yeah, I was like, that's just the masculinity nature of dudes versus like the feminine nature from females and shit.
Yep.
Like when I was saying, if we was walking in the mall and we seen cuz with like a good outfit on, like our initial thing is we're gonna analyze, like you said, in your mind you're gonna be like, damn, cuz precious shit, or you might just say cuz precious shit.
Yeah,
but you also gonna try to come up with a quick Joan right quick.
Yeah, you have to make it out of either like envious ways or competitive nature.
Or just joke because that's the way niggas joke. You know what I'm saying?
Well, especially around here though. Especially around. Yeah,
here. At least I'm speaking for around here. I can't. Men in general, I don't know. Forestville, that's how I'm speaking around here. You gonna get some type of joke.
It's all about presentation.
Yeah. So, yeah, nah, it's now. She want niggas to be like on the same shit that females. Like if you you see a nigga in the mall and you be like, oh, cuz look good. She don't want you to come out and just be like, oh, yeah, what's up, bro? Damn, you look good as shit, Slim. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm like, nah, that's gay.
Yeah,
yeah, like that's gay right there. It's gay for y'all too, but because of how society is currently constructed, it's just accepted because two girls together, that's kind of more sexy than just one girl, you know what I'm saying? So that's how society looks at it. So it's cool when y'all fake be gay. Like a nigga can sit here and watch two girls kiss. You know what I'm saying? If I even think two dudes about to kiss, I might throw up.
Nigga, I'm not even gonna be in the room.
You know what I'm saying? Like I already, and I'm not homophobic or nothing, but it's just like, but that's just disgusting to me.
I mean, technically, a phobia is something that you're afraid of. You're not afraid of it.
Nah, it just makes me sick. You know what I'm saying? So, like, yeah, it doesn't work like that for dudes. What?
I'm sorry, like bad joke, but I'm sitting there watching. I'm also watching football, y'all.
Don't get us mad, man.
Doing the podcast, but we sitting there talking about this, and then I just seen one of the players with the last name Gay on his jersey, so it was just like,
oh, what was his last name?
Gay.
Oh, good.
I had to chuckle at that a little bit.
Chill.
Like the coincidence.
Oh, okay.
But yo, what the hell, bro? Why bring that up?
He's funny.
But
it's his last name, so we ain't gonna get in trouble with that.
Definitely. I mean, I said it already.
What? I said gay too. So.
Yeah, it's like, why you shouldn't be upset with the word? It's just, like you said.
Technically, it means happy.
Yeah, it's and that's a part of the LGBT. Like G is gay.
Yeah.
Like they accept it. Like if you say gay, it should not be a ban on the shit.
Yeah.
If white people can still say nigger and get away with it, they can still we can just be able to say the shit.
And my new nickname for them, I just call them the community.
Oh yeah, I remember you said
I'm tired of trying to remember all the letters and shit. I be fucking up and shit. Yeah. So I just be like,
there's always a new letter being added. The community. Anyway, so.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. It's
I can't defend the community now. You know what
I remember you said that.
Cool. I was like, cool, yeah. The community though, like I just be LGBT. It's too many letters. You know what I'm saying? And you said they adding another one. So what they making something up? New kind of person or something? What's going on?
Bro, they got so many different. There's actually pedophiles trying to slide into that too.
That's what the new letter gonna be.
Yeah, no, they been trying to slide into that.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah, I think I do remember talking.
Oh yeah, because they you said that I think you said a long time ago they was trying to make something legal. They were saying something like when people preference kids over like adults, they trying to make that legal or some shit like that.
Yeah, like pedophilia.
That's
make that legal.
Come on, man.
But I don't think the LGBTQ community gonna try and let that one slide. If they do, then it's over for them.
Yeah, down with the movement, man.
It's over for them if they let that shit slide.
Yeah. 2021, man. What a time to be alive.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
Yeah, learn something new every day.
But back to the story at hand and shit. You were mentioning.
What was I talking about?
Because you at first you was like, oh, I don't want to sound homophobic or nothing.
No, that's what I was saying.
Say after that.
No, that's what I was saying. Like, if I'm even around two dudes and I think they gonna kiss, I might throw up. That's all I was saying. Yeah. Like that's what I was telling her and shit. Like,
I have no problem. Like, I have no problem with that idea.
Yeah.
Just
I'm cool.
I don't want to be around that shit.
Yeah, I'm cool with those kind of people. Like we went to school with a bunch of them.
Yeah.
Like even now, like some of them, they still cool. As long as you don't try like no silly shit, nothing like that, we cool. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
But like you said,
no problem with that.
Yeah, I don't want to be around for public displays of affection or nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to see what's homeboy name. The artist,
Lil Nas X.
Yeah, I'm not trying to see he pregnant and all. Like, I'm not trying to see this type of stuff, bro. Like,
all right, we crossing the threshold and shit to cancel. All right, might as well.
Yeah, he right.
I mean,
he make good music though. You know what I'm saying?
I ain't a fan.
Yeah, all right.
I ain't a fan.
You know, I cancel him, y'all. You know, he don't like him or his music. At least I like the music and shit.
Hey. I just don't like. I don't like that type of music in general and shit. It just doesn't. Yeah. It's not catchy to me.
It's alright.
It has nothing to do with the. Well,
don't hold them. Don't hold them to like your favorite artist standards. You gotta hold them to like.
I don't like a lot of these other artists anyway.
You gotta have them like in the mid.
I'm not a fan of like the mid what we're looking at in mainstream now. So I just I can't even categorize like where he's at really. I just don't like his music.
I think he's like
the only song that he had that I thought was somewhat catchy was Old Town Road, and I didn't even fuck with that like that for real.
Yeah, I didn't like that song. It was catchy.
It was just because a whole bunch of kids was like doing this shit on like TikTok and shit like that. It was the reason why it became so popular.
Yeah, I couldn't fade it.
So
can't relate to that. Can't relate to horses and. Lord knows what he really was talking about.
I mean, I can relate to horses, but it's just this.
Yeah,
it's just like, bro.
Grew up on a farm. I didn't, so.
Well, yeah, I did.
And who was on the song? With Garth Brooks or
wasn't that? Yeah, something like that. It made like the country like top 10 or some shit like that.
Yeah.
Like, chill out, bro.
Yeah. I let them people have it.
Like
man.
You knew niggas he was off and shit the way that nigga. He was in the video, so you knew he was kind of off.
Yeah.
It's like it didn't bother me, but it's just like straight niggas can like they know automatically. Like we can tell when somebody is a little bit out there and just trying to keep it under wraps and shit. Yeah, we can tell. Just say it.
Like something wrong with cuz, you know.
Just like in high school, it was like certain teachers you knew
called it.
Yeah,
called
it.
Knew. Called it.
Like Mr. King. Yeah. The way he held his little hand and like we knew he was gay, and he was also a pedophile. And like, a lot of people ain't trying to say nothing.
Yeah, Mr. Thomas. I called Mr. Thomas 2-3 years before. Hey, Slim, had that one conversation with us, and that one sentence was all I needed to know. I said, "Oh yeah, Mr. Thomas is gay."
Yeah.
It's nothing nobody can tell me. I know you gay.
The funny thing is, like, it didn't bother us that he
Right.
was. It was just
Right.
the fact that just say it, bruh.
Yeah,
Just
like,
say it. Like, don't try to put on the front for us.
yeah.
Son,
Just to end up getting caught anyway. and shit.
exactly.
Yeah.
Like, just be you. Like,
That's-
don't sit here and try to lie.
That's what made shit worse. Like you can live your lifestyle, but you out here trying to live your lifestyle with kids.
Yeah.
Like, come on, bro. Niggas in high school and you praying on high schools. Come on.
Exactly,
Like
bruh.
go to college or something. You know?
It was female teachers doing the same thing, bruh.
Now I ain't gonna lie. Now I wish. You know what I'm saying? Like, wish I could have been a part of that pedophilia ring. There's a
Come
couple.
on,
There's
bro.
a couple teachers that.
Nah, all of that. Nah, I'm cool. Nah, on all that shit, bro. They can have that.
You tripping? I'd have told Miss Bryan up, Slim.
I hate him. Yo, I hate Miss Brown.
I love Miss Bryan, man. If she was in that joint doing fucked up things, I'm beefing with her because I should have been on the list.
Son, she was uppity as fuck. Fuck her, bro.
I like
She
that.
failed me and shit. Wasn't even a real teacher, bro. I could have got we could have sued the shit out of Forestville for that.
We definitely could have sued Forestville. Definitely could have sued the shit out of them.
No reason as to why niggas got to pay for summer school from a teacher that ain't certified.
I think I had like 4 or 5 uncertified teachers too. I probably have been rich. I want 100,000 for each one.
Niggas wouldn't be struggling now and shit.
Yeah, no bull.
We have a full decked out studio in the basement.
Yeah, no bull. We probably wouldn't even be living in shit. Somewhere nice part of Maryland or something.
Maybe out in Akakeek.
Yeah, that's it. But yeah, hopefully I don't even see how you could stop this type of wave. Emotional incest. Like I don't.
It's so ingrained now. That's the problem.
I don't think you could.
It's incredibly
for so
ingrained.
long.
Because normally once we have one of these type of podcasts, normally towards the end we throw out like the solutions and what you could do to like reverse the like remember we was doing the generational curses and shit.
Yeah, I mean there are ways we can try, but it just takes a person to want to do it. Like once they understand what it is, like that's the first thing is understanding what it is.
I think a lot of people probably don't even know like this is a thing.
Yeah, like we just found out about this. You're 31. Well, actually 32.
32.
I'm gonna be 31 this year. Mark's gonna be 30.
And we just found out like
Yeah. Dude, like a lot of people don't really know what it is. That's the reason why I'm breaking the narrative. Like we gonna take you on a journey and let you know like certain things that ain't really out there that you thought really like you thought wasn't out there, it really is and shit. Like we're gonna bring that to you.
Yeah.
And stuff like this happens. And the problem is we don't know what it is, and if we don't know what it is, we have no idea of how to combat it.
Right.
And with situations like this, you have no other choice but to look at it dead on and just say, no more. No more. And there are going to be the skeptics who just say, no, that's not me. That's not me at all. And exhibiting the exact same symptoms.
Yeah.
It happens with everything.
Yeah. We can't worry about them, though. Gotta reach the people that, like, oh, yeah, damn, I have been doing that. Let me try to change.
Yeah.
Yeah, shit
And
like that.
today, like, even though I feel as though I'm kind of like off with all of it, I might have exhibited certain things like that with my nephews, my niece, and stuff like that. I might have to change the way that I approach them.
Right.
Even though I feel as though like I've been pretty much like spot on a lot.
Yeah. Or you know, like you say, even if you have been spot on, it just keeps your awareness up.
Exactly.
So you won't slip into like doing some shit like that. Mm-hmm. You just because how random you would think at face value it doesn't even cause you no harm. Like you just had a rough day at work or something, and you just go vent to like your niece or nephew or something. They don't know what the fuck going on. Niggas don't know about jobs and, you know what I'm saying, bills. And obviously they know y'all work, but still, like, you know, something like that is just, yeah, that's unbelievable, man.
Because when my niece was a baby,
Mm-hmm.
I used to, like my sister, I'll be coming home from work. I get off work. I'll go take a shower, get in the bed, about to go to take a nap or something. I'm literally in my underwear. Like, she's sleeping right next to me.
Mm-hmm.
In my while I'm in my underwear, like, it seems as though, like, even in my head, I was like, I don't know how I feel about this and shit.
Right.
But I know I meant no harm by it.
Right.
But at the same time, thinking to myself, it's just like, how is this gonna look?
Yeah, because then you don't want her to do the same thing with her kids, or one day, or another young member of the family, and then because it's probably how it's so easy. Because now that I'm thinking about it, that's probably how they tried to get Michael Jackson and shit.
Probably
because he's doing stuff like that. He not. Well, at least to our knowledge, he's not having sex with the kids, but he laying in the same bed with them. You know, they cuddling up and reading stories, and you know what I'm saying. So it's just like, now that we know that this is a thing, I'm quite sure that's what he was on. You know,
I don't know. I'm kind of.
I'm quite sure Michael Jackson vented to the kids. I'm
all right, venting. All right,
yeah.
probably.
I probably could bet my life he done told some stories to the kids and shit. Like, I don't know.
But honestly, I mean, we're kind of like on the outside looking in with that. So it's just
of course, yeah.
It just depends on like what really happened. Like we get a whole bunch of stories and no definitive evidence of anything.
Right.
So it's just like we're iffy on that technically because again we don't have the full truth. The only people that know, Mike, R.I.P., and the kids, and that's about it. The rest of the world are just skeptics. Like we don't know. We will pretty much just romanticize ourselves with the situation to the point where we feel as though we know everything and we're just in touch with all of it. All you're doing is reading shit. You don't know what happened.
Right. And going off the court cases too.
Yeah, that too. It's just, and they feel as though like just because it's in the courts, like, that's what it is. Not always the case. Like, this nigga's in jail right now for shit they ain't do.
Well, that's true too.
So, at the end of the day, bro, we definitely need to change some shit. We need to make sure that a lot of the things that we're doing are monitored, not only by others, by ourselves.
Right.
We need to take accountability for the shit that we actually are doing, which I think that would be a very huge solution for this, because the situations that we're dealing with now, it's detrimental in all senses. Like it's detrimental. Like you're looking at so many people who can possibly go through traumas based on these situations that they're putting their children in, or the situation that these adults are like really just forcing the world to believe. Like, I'm pretty sure there are people who are out there who know about it. They just want to keep spreading it.
Oh yeah, because you got them kind of people too, though.
Yeah. They want the world to think like them, and since the world is already right there in their face and they're fit for molding, they're gonna keep doing it.
Yeah.
So,
and this one subject can just take a person down 50 different lanes.
It can. Which is the reason why we've been on here for, what, like an hour and a half, almost 2?
Yeah, a little bit over an hour. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
Actually rather short for...
Yeah, it is.
Right now, yeah.
Yeah. But, other than that, any final words before we end it?
Well, I think I said pretty much.
Just had yours.
It's just a hell of an eye opener now. Like,
yeah,
again, putting a label to it now. The very moment that you have the knowledge of something that it exists or have a name to it, it's just you can't unsee it.
Yeah.
You're going to be able to identify it more and more every day now. So.
Facts. Yeah, and the conundrum comes in as like, how do you speak up on it?
Absolutely.
So you're gonna be on Facebook like commenting, like, hey, this emotional incest right here, this and that.
Bruh, like I've grown to the point where I don't enable people anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Like I feel bad like if a girl gets on Facebook and then she's talking about how she can't get like dick or some shit like that. I'm not gonna enable it and just say, oh yeah, whatever and all that other shit. I'm not gonna encourage her to do it.
Okay.
Because honestly, like what you should be doing is working on working on yourself instead of worrying about this.
Right.
I'm not gonna openly say that to them, but I'm not gonna enable it.
Right.
Like, I might make a joke that technically like sways them away from it, but I'm not gonna just jump in and say, "Oh, you should be doing this, you should be doing that." I'm not that type of person.
Okay.
So yeah, definitely, like I try and keep people from making mistakes based on like what I'm seeing consistently. It's not just, oh, I'm just saying this right now,
Right.
and I'm gonna comment on it. Nah, I've seen it in numerous times. Is when like you'll post some random shit, and then I'm continuously studying it,
Right.
and then you get to a certain point where I'm just looking at you. It's like, well, this is what it is. Like I've literally diagnosed people because of the shit like that. Like I said, I don't feel as though I'm a psychologist, but I work like one. Like I have so many people that I just sit down and I just look at all of the shit that's going on. Even with people who are really, really educated, I just look at like all of the stuff that they do, and they say that social media is just, oh, this is just for play. This is all that. Not always the case.
Right.
Because people will tell truth and lies. They will. They have no other choice because subconsciously that's how they feel. And like you, bruh, like we've had situations where we'll have a whole conversation on shit like that we've seen. And you've seen it more often than not, even in person.
Facts.
Dealing with the people that you deal with and shit like that. Not to just say you out here playing all that shit, but I'm just saying.
Yeah, I'm not a player, y'all.
Yeah, you're not a player. He just crush a lot.
That's lyrics to a song, y'all. So, nice, wholesome guy, single, you know, ready to mingle.
I don't know about wholesome.
Ready to settle down, you know.
Nigga, did you just take Mark's whole shtick?
Nah. Mark is the player and crushing the line and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So,
see, bro, I was gonna let you have it, man. I wasn't even gonna throw you under the bus until now.
well, somebody gotta be the player.
That's not me.
And I'm not the player, so.
That ain't me.
All right, one of y'all niggas lying.
Nah.
Now we gotta have a conversation about that. One of y'all lying.
Money Mike might be the undercover player for real.
Nah.
Okay, yeah, all right, so we agree, Mike.
Nah, fuck out of here.
All right, that's a bet.
The person who's going on 6 years without, I'm a player.
You could just be telling us
Yeah,
that.
that could be his stick.
Yeah, exactly.
I literally sit in the house and write all day.
You be telling us that too. Could be a female over there. We don't know.
Nah.
I mean, you saying nah, just ain't that.
That could be his connection. Like, oh yeah,
All right,
I'm,
now
a,
the
I'm a
niggas
book writer. I write
trying.
romance
All right,
novels.
Yeah.
I see what y'all doing. And shit. Like the two niggas who are more likely to be out here doing shit.
That's
all right, bro.
That's
Just because I'm more likely doesn't mean that I am. Though.
exactly what he said.
Mm-hmm. All right, we'll just leave it at that. I guess I'll be the player for today. I'll accept it.
Yeah.
I'll accept it because I already know how I am personally.
Yeah, a player.
Hey, call me what you want. Call me what you want.
We just did.
I do love women, but
We know.
I'm not going with. I'm definitely going without though.
I've gone without too.
What,
Wow,
20 minutes?
No, I mean we've been on a podcast for an hour and something. So
I don't know,
clearly.
man. Like, you left midway through and shit. Went outside. What the fuck happened?
I've literally been talking the whole time, but okay. Yeah. So how you do, Mark? Now his blatant lies let you know even further that he's a player.
It was a joke.
Like he's a player. You
It
know
was
what I'm saying?
a joke, bruh.
Yo, all right. I'm just letting y'all know, man. Mike out there don't play, man. You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna show you my phone out of the podcast, so you'll see. Like, I have
Probably
no
deleted
numbers in that
everything.
joint, bruh.
The player gonna cover their tracks, man. Probably didn't deleted everything.
Nah, bro. If I was a player, I wouldn't be dumb. So,
Right.
like,
So you probably deleted everything out your phone. So that's it.
No, I'm saying I wouldn't be dumb, but like at the same time, I'll let people know. But that's not me.
All right, Mike. If you say so, man. But it's been another Breaking the Narrative podcast. BTN for short, and I'm Teddy.
I'm Tony.
And I'm also real Mark Anthony.
And we also out.